Hey there, bros. If you remember back to the very first episode of It's Not Over Yet, Will Lynch, in telling us his story, left an important part of it intentionally untold. Here's a quick clip.
And I never even thought about it. The first thing that popped to my head was Michael Jackson. And I'm like, I don't think that's going to fly. And I'm not going to say the person's name, but I picked a fraternity brother's name because it's a unique name. And I think I had a piece of me thinking, if I wasn't killed, maybe I can get away with this or something. And this fucking poor guy, it turned into just the trial. He's got a family and shit. Everything was in the news, and it got cleaned up real quick.
Well, on this episode, we're going to reveal who that bro was that Will used to gain entrance into the facility and also answer that eternally existential question of, why me? Check it out. All right, all right. Welcome into this really special episode of It's Not Over Yet. If you listened in to the very first episode with Will Lynch, who's here joining us, there left a bit of that story untold. And since it broke on a group thread that a bunch of us are on by the other guy that's joining us here, Eric Blau, we thought we'd bring everybody back together to kind of fill in the story and kind of close the loop here on all this and add another chapter in what is a really just a fascinating element of both of these guys' lives. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. This should be really interesting and informative, and I think help everybody understand everything that's going on a little bit better here. So let me jump in on this. Eric, prior to all this happening, when was the last time you had seen or talked to Will?
God, I think probably what in Vegas, I think. I mean, he came for one of the drafts and was there, but, I completely forgot about him. It's when I was listening to the podcast, I was like, "What the fuck?" I go, "That sounds so fucking familiar." I go, "Wait, I remember him, like," and I'm like, "Wait a minute." Now so then it just, like, brought back, I'm like, "Wait, shit, he was talking about me." I go, because then I was wondering, I'm like, I totally brought back. I mean, I remember that. I mean, there's a whole, Will calling, like, just kept calling and calling, and like, I need to get to. I'm like, why? What's up? I don't know. And he's like,
Okay.
no, dude, I just need to. I'll come down there or what. And I'm just like,
We'll get
okay,
we'll
I
get to
don't know
that.
what's
We'll
going
get to
on
that.
here.
How
Well,
would you describe your relationship with him through college as undergrads? Because we're good, we're tight, or is it more periphery and didn't really know him too well?
Obviously, I thought probably tight. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't think there was any. No, I thought things were good,
Okay.
I mean, not that you did that because things were bad. I mean, you said that just that name popped into your head. I
Okay.
mean, but I was like thinking like, come on, that would pop in my head.
If someone's gonna go down for this, it should be him. All right. So, Will, what was the date of this happen? When did this all go down? You remember the date?
Oh, jeez. I don't remember the exact
How
date.
about the
It was
year?
a
The
long
rough
fucking
year.
time ago.
Okay.
It was like 16 years ago now, I think, or something.
Okay. But so
A
you were at the
while
point in
ago.
your life where your rage and your desire for revenge had built up so much you were contemplating a really serious action and making plans in your head to carry it out. How long were those plans in the making in your mind, or was it more of a snap decision that you came to one moment for whatever reason?
I mean, first of all, it's less about revenge and more about justice and like, a reckoning, but most of all, like to protect it from ever happening to any other kids. So I'd fantasized about fucking this guy up for years, you know? And then finally that one day, I had gone down there. I had gone halfway down there. I was sitting outside there on multiple occasions. But this one morning, I just woke up super calm. Said, today's the day. And, I had tried to, like I said, put him in jail and do all this stuff. I found other people he did this to. There's nothing the law would do. So I was going to go down and take him out and then have the law take me out.
Crazy. Um, you make your way to the facility where he was living. You park your car and you start walking in. Describe the interaction with the clerk that was there at the desk.
Yeah, I think I mentioned the original podcast. Like, I had to kind of lie my way into the facility because they have multiple molesters out there that they're hiding. And I made up a story that I knew his brother, who was a police officer, said he was killed in the line of duty, and I'm a family friend. I need to come in and talk, and I'll need a private room. And you'll probably hear some commotion because they were really close, but just don't interrupt us. So anyway, as I go in, I'm like, "Hey, I walk in, I go, "Yeah, I'm here f I talked about, whatever his name is, Linder, and, yeah, I'm the guy who called," and they're like, "Well, what's your name?" And I just wasn't prepared for that, and the first thing that came to my mind was Michael Jackson, and I'm like, "That's not gonna happen." And so, I just Eric Blau popped in. I think it's because it's an unusual name, and I don't know, it's so random because we hadn't seen each other in, 20 year or whatever it is. And yeah, I think I was just thinking, "Oh, it's a name nobody will probably remember or something." And it wasn't gonna matter anyway because
Right.
I was gonna be, taken out.
Interesting
But,
that that's one consideration that you didn't make at some point in terms of having to stretch this lie out about why and why you're trying to get there and who you are, you know?
yeah, no, exactly.
Okay. Um,
I mean, part of the reason why I said Blau also is because I don't know how to spell Cisneros.
that's a tough one. It's a tough one.
It is.
That's great. Um, so what goes down there and then you get home. Describe what happens when you get home. Where's your headspace? What's happening? Do you know at that moment too that they've figured out it's not Eric Blau, that it's you, and that they're now starting to investigate and come searching for you?
Yeah, I was just kinda shell shocked. I got home, I talked to my parents, I said, "I did this and, shit's gonna come down." I hadn't even thought about what the repercussions would be for you, Eric. I mean, because it just wasn't there was no malice on my part, but I just dude, all of a sudden, like, within 12 hours, I mean, it was, like, all over the news. I mean, I don't know if you remember this, it was on, like, one of the front
Yeah.
pages of the newspapers down there in Orange County, and I'm just
Right.
going, "Holy shit," and you're a realtor and a reputation and children and a family. I'm like, "Oh my god, what have I done?" I felt so bad about that, but I was really blown
Well,
away
like
how quickly they connected those
So
dots.
Eric, in terms of how fast the investigation broke out, when was your first contact with the police and who were those police?
God, that I don't remember. I just remember them coming to the door
Okay.
and kids, and they were young, and then they were like asking me questions, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "I'm here in Orange County," and then like I was joking. I'm like, "What, a priest?" I go, "I'm Jewish." What do I? And I was just like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, I go, I don't know
What was
what's going
their
on. I go,
what was their attitude? Was it Orange County Sheriff?
uh, I think it was just, yeah, I think so. Yeah. And
Okay.
they just knocked on the door, and it was just like they were calm, cool, and calm. And then I'm like, and then so Will hadn't called me yet, but then I was like, I don't know what you guys were talking about. And then they kind of, I think if I recall, they told me what was going on. I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm hundreds of miles away. I don't know.
And they're probably
It
asking
wasn't
you
me.
they're
So
probably
I don't know
asking
what,
you, why would he use your name, right? By then they know they're looking
yeah.
for him, and then they got your name mixed up in that. Was that one of their questions? Like, why would you think he would use your name?
Um, I don't recall that. I don't remember. I just remember just going, I have no idea what you guys are even talking about. I didn't even, because I don't even think we knew this was all going down yet with Will.
Okay. Did you have to explain it
And then
to your
I
parents
don't
when it broke?
remember how,
Go ahead.
I don't even remember like how many days later, but Will just kept calling me. And I think I'm just dizzy, whatever. And I just never, and he's like, I need to meet you. And I'm like, why I'm like, just tell me. And he's like, no, I need to come down there wherever you want to meet. And he was really persistent about it, because I just remember it took a while, and he kept going, "I'll wherever you want to meet, I just need." And I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" He's like, "We'll talk about it." And then he came to. I just was at the bar that we went to. It was actually in Huntington Harbor. He came because I know you said Los Angeles, but you came to HB,
Did you
And
guys meet up at a
I think
Chili's
you
for the big
mentioned
margarita
exactly.
and endless salsa or
That
what?
was actually, well, it's right now it's, a pool place, but I just and then he mentioned said the same thing. He's like, "I no ill will against you. Your just name just fucking popped in my head." I mean, it's and I I didn't really. It was just like, it's not no big deal. I
Okay.
mean, because it wasn't like I don't think he was doing it because to throw me under the bus because I'm a dick or he didn't like me or whatever. I mean, because I thought we had a good relationship,
For
and so
sure.
I think it's just he just at the moment was just just like I would say, "Come on, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
who knows?" And I didn't take offense to it, and I forgave. I just was like, I don't,
How
it's
many
not a,
how many interactions did you have with, either detectives or investigators in it? Just that and just that one?
that. I think it was just that one time. That was it.
Okay. Um, Will, why was it important to you to meet with them in person?
I mean, the least I could do out of respect was drive down there from the Bay Area and look you in the eye and explain to you what happened and why and tell you there's no malice at all. I mean, I remember Mark Brown said he talked to you and you're going, yeah, I mean, I get it. The whole thing's kind of crazy, but like, why me? You know,
Yeah,
no
that
one,
was
like it was nothing personal. I mean,
that's what now things are. I remember Brown talking to Brown.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what pops in your mind? Like I was totally caught off guard because I was going in there like, to be honest with you, I was scared shitless
So so
about having to face this
so
guy.
Brownie in between all this, Brown had heard about this and kinda jumped over the top and called you, Eric, to say ask you
Yeah.
about it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I think
Yeah. And then he was just like, he was, now it's like bringing back, he was just like, "Dude, he has nothing against you." He was totally just like what Will and I talked about. It was just like, it's nothing. He wasn't trying to get you fucking in trouble. It just
I
was
love it.
something random.
Brownie playing lead blocker there, I love it. Will,
but
in the
Yeah.
timeline of things, this was post-arrest, but pre-trial, right?
this was
When you guys had this in-person conversation.
this was pre-arrest. So
Pre-arrest.
I had to like, yeah, I had to sneak it. They were staking out my place. They came to try to gain entry where I was living and my roommate at the time wouldn't let him in. And actually I was like laying out on the balcony and headphones on and stuff. And all of a sudden I can tell the sliding glass door open and I just kind of look up where you would see someone standing, but instead I see my roommate's head. He's like floor level, sticking his head out, and he's like, "Dude, what the fuck's going on?" And I took off my earbuds, and the police are all around the house, and you could hear them going, "Yeah, we're trying to gain entry," and they're in all my neighbors' yards and shit. And they staked it out for 2 days, and I had to sneak out the back and climb over, go through other people's yards to get into a car and get to the airport so that they wouldn't, secure me. And then I had my attorney who I'd called by that time. I said, I think I might have killed a priest and that molested me. And, the police are outside my door. I've got to get out. He said, can you get out and come down to LA? And so I was able to get out and go down there. But I think I went and saw you before that happened, Eric. And, I mean, showed so much grace. I mean, you got a wife, kids, you're a high profile realtor, known throughout the community. I think you grew up around there, right? I mean, it's just
Yeah.
freaking terrible. That's why I'm like, I got to come down. I had to look you in the eye and just beg your forgiveness, and you were super, super cool about it. Really
Yeah.
gracious.
He was very persistent. He kept, because I think, I don't know how many, but he just were like, no, I gotta, I'm like, why? What do you know? Like, no, I don't really, I mean, if you're, and he just wouldn't, he's like, no, I gotta come down there. And he came down and I don't know how long after, but it took a while. They just remember me kind of just being like, nah, no big deal. But Will was very, was like, nah, this
Yeah.
ain't gonna work. I gotta come down there. And he drove down and we met at the bar there. And I completely forgot about it until the podcast. And I'm like, it was such a trip because I was watching. I'm like, wait a minute. That's me. That I go, because now, like, I was like, that's why he kept, why we met. And he came down to Orange County. And I'm just like, And I remember the cops coming in. I'm like, "Oh, fuck, that's me." That was
That's so funny you kind of forgot about all that because it was so
oh,
traumatic.
completely, 100% forgot about it.
I think that speaks to
100%
both
forgot about it.
everybody's mindset though, right? Like Will was so concerned about making sure he made amends for this, and then Eric was like, "Yeah, no big deal. Like it never really happened as far as I was concerned."
I
You
need to
know,
be honest, I didn't, because it's like, yeah, it was not a but I
I mean, you could,
appreciated, you it's all
yeah,
good.
dude. I
I
mean,
was never
you easily could have been really pissed off about that. So I was, I'm like,
I
wow,
well,
I was impressed with that, and I was super grateful.
um,
I didn't I was like, I don't it wasn't me that did so I'm like, what are they gonna do to me? I mean, go ahead and arrest me, and then I'll see you guys for, false what impersonation.
were
Because
there
I was like,
how tough was the conversation with your parents? Did that was that easily resolved? Like, hey, just explain the kind of the overall situation, or was there kind of like some raised eyebrows at that?
No, my parents were, they're like, we're not. I don't. My dad said something like, something like, not going to say that it was the right. What did he say? It's like, I can't, we're not going to say that it was okay, but it was the right thing to do, and we support
Right.
you, or something like that. I don't, it was kind of weird, but
How about you, Eric? When that news broke there in Huntington Beach, what did your parents say about it?
nobody even I mean, think it was very local. I mean, I don't think it got to that where anybody knew what was going on. I
Okay.
mean, I just the kids and the ex were dealing with the cops at the door. The kids were very young at the time, and they're like, "Dad, what's that all about?" So,
And the
but
cop showing up at your house was probably a regular occurrence anyway, so it wasn't that big a deal. Like,
well, they were with obviously not with me, but with the ex.
dude, I forgot the fact that you're Jewish. So when these guys are like, you beat up a priest, it's like, what? I'm
Yeah,
Jewish.
that's
All right, what are you
I
talking?
remember. I distinctly remember saying that to the guys. I'm like, a priest? I go, I'm Jewish. What? I don't have any dealings with
you're coming
priests.
with us, buddy. We're in some preliminary talks. Are you willing to star as yourself in the upcoming Lifetime movie?
What
Eric,
Lifetime movie?
there's got to be a Lifetime movie made about this. Are you willing to play yourself in that movie? All right,
Yeah,
love
absolutely.
it.
But I guess on a side note, that's another story where I was thrown under trying to get through. I won't name any names, but we were on one of the famous um, Felipe trips, coming back from the crossing the border and fabulous motorhome, and we get pulled over into secondary, and they take us all out. We're all lined up there. They bring in the dogs or whatever, and the federales or the comes out with a little empty canister, film canister. They're like, "Whose is this?" Everyone's all, "Not mine, not mine." And one of the group goes like, elbows me. He's like, "Wow, take it. You say it's yours." He's like, "Then we'll come get you. I just can't." And I'm like, "Fuck you." I go, "I'm not, I'm not taking, I like taking, but I go, I'm not going to jail for these like, so I guess people just think I might be gullible or something. I don't know.
We got to stop throwing you under the bus here, my man. This is
Right? Yeah. So that was
we built a habit of this here,
like, oh,
unfortunately.
it wasn't mine. I'm not taking one for the team.
Um,
But not like that. And not with when you're dealing with going to jail.
as far as you know, is this the only time you've ever been investigated for possible attempted murder? Like, or were there other
Yeah.
times?
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I hope that's it for both of you.
Yeah.
Um,
Me and Cheese were laughing the other day because I've been working on a book about all this, and I have a title for it. It's called "A Death Worth Living,"
okay.
but then when the subtitle was going to be "The Life and Times of Eric Blau."
You have this whole other persona that you live a separate life totally off of
It's
here. um,
it's all
well, you
good.
guys are both really good sports, and I'm glad to see that it didn't have a lot of long term impact on either of your
No,
lives, and
not at
certainly
all.
Will that the way you came out of it is great as well, and probably the best part of the whole story. It speaks to both your guys' level of commitment and brotherhood that you're not going to hang on something like this. And as
Nah,
traumatic as it was, that it was just kind of one of these
life's
random
too
things that
short.
happen.
No, agreed, Eric. But, there were actually 2 waves of this.
Okay.
So there's what we talked about, and then later in the trial, and I just put that to rest. I was focused on, everything that was going on, and the, DA gets up and she's like, he claimed to be Eric Blau. And then as Eric
What?
Blau, he went and said, "Hey, I'm Eric Blau." And then when Eric Blau went, it was like blah, 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 blah. It was all in the papers again. I'm like, fuck. Well, this guy's getting slapped down again. So
Oh,
fortunately
wow,
that didn't.
wow. I didn't know it went that far that I was so famous.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like half full stuff right there.
Oh man.
yeah.
A great story, guys, and I know that the bros are going to dig it and be able to kind of put a bow on this for everybody. And like I said, good on you both for handling it so well, and I'm glad it turned out the way
Oh,
it
of
did.
course.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Appreciate.
Yeah, thank you. This is awesome, this whole thing you're doing.
Ah, it's good fun. We'll have
It's
you
been
on
fun
here.
to listen to
You'll
everybody.
get your you'll get your shot here solo one of these days, Blau.
I guess the last thing I have to say, Eric, is it's not over yet.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks a lot. Will, keep digging. Will's digging out of a snowbank over there, and Eric, we're going to
Yeah.
enjoy a little sunshine here for the next couple of days. So enjoy, guys. Appreciate you.
Yep, at least now everybody will know, that it was me, because it's like, were people calling you going, who's he talking about? Who's he talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
who the hell is Eric Blau?
yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Well, oh, he's one of my bros. They're like, dude, what a dick.
That's so
What
funny.
are you doing?
Well, we've hopefully put an answer to that existential question of why me. Like, well,
Yeah.
just the first thing out of the head. Oh man.
Well, I'll just say one last thing. I think if we didn't have this connection as brothers, if I was an acquaintance of yours from the neighborhood or whatever, you probably likely would have had a different reaction. Something like "fuck off,"
Yeah.
But because we're bros, you were like,
Yeah,
really cool about it, and I really, really appreciate that.
that's all good. No hard feelings, nada.
Uh,
I completely had forgotten about it until that spark, and I'm like, sure sounds very familiar. And then I brought back memory. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why he kept calling, and we met and we sat at a bar and everything. So
Well,
yep.
one of
Right
the
on.
one
All
of the
good.
great stories in our history, guys. And thanks for telling it so well. Okay.
All right,
All right.
All
Take care,
right.
guys.
take it easy, gents.
Okay, take care.
All right.
Be well.
Later.
It's Not Over Yet is a production of EYB Enterprises. This episode has been brought to you by Chili's El Presidente Margarita. The host of It's Not Over Yet is Jim Miller. Executive producers are David Cisneros, Mike Gonzalez, and Todd Santos. If you'd like to be notified of new episodes of It's Not Over Yet as they drop, simply go to itsnotoveryetpodcast.substack.com, drop in your email, and you'll get a note every time a new episode goes live. Thanks for coming out.